Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Now, it is 18 years ever since Arsenal won the Premier League in 2004, and it is definitely 16 years ever since we played in the UCL final. That was in 2006. We were very close to winning it. We should have won it. That was our chance. The Arsene Wenger era surely was a fruitful one, but ever since the Arsene Wenger era extended and also came to an end, we have not seen anything like competing in the UEFA Champions League or even competing in the Premier League or trying to win the Premier League. So in this video, and this is one for only Arsenal fans and only real Arsenal fans, I want you guys to reason with me. How many signings do Arsenal need to get back to winning ways, to get back to those days where we can't compete for the Premier League, we can't qualify for the UEFA Champions League? Not because it's high time we stop qualifying for the UEFA Champions League every season. It is high time. It is now time for Arsenal to qualify for the UEFA Champions League through fighting for the title. We need to be there asking questions on that title. 18 years, that is a hell lot of time. There's a lot of time without competing. Chelsea, Mancity, Liverpool, Man United, all those clubs, including Leicester City as well, all those clubs have won the Premier League title, and Arsenal have not done that in the last 18 years. And you know what hurts me is that Liverpool have also won a Premier League title. Can you believe that Arsenal have more Premier League titles than Liverpool? We've won 3 in the last 20 years, and they have only won 1 since 1992. But what is important here is that Liverpool have found their way back to the top, and that is what Arsenal are doing. So how many signings are we from competing, and which players specifically would you suggest, and in which positions would you suggest Arsenal bring in for us to get back to winning ways? Before you get into the comment section, hit the like button for me. I need 800 likes on this video as we build our way back to the top. Now, in my opinion, I've gone with 5 key players that Arsenal should be key areas that Arsenal should be addressing, and it's not all about the number of players, but also the quality in these positions. Number 1, I've gone with a defensive, a centre back, not a defensive midfielder really, but I've gone with a centre back, and I've like you can see on my screen, I've gone with Presnel Kimpembe. Now, the reason as to why I've gone with Presnel Kimpembe, do not ask me whether I'm mad or something. Now, I think I agree with William Gallas, who came out and said Arsenal need an experienced centre back. Arsenal need a strong centre back in that back line. The arrival of Alexander Zinchenko changes a lot of things in terms of experience and also in terms of maturity and seniority in that back line. I think the arrival of Alexander Zinchenko just adds so much in terms of raising the maturity levels in that back line, the decision making, and also a player with experience. You look at Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, and Ben White, although you feel the players that have played the game for some time, they are very, very far away from what you need in a backline. They are very, very far away. And coupled together with a young goalkeeper like Aaron Ramsdale, you need a leader. You need someone who has lived the experience. You need someone who's going to be the pillar in that backline. In all teams that have won huge things, we've seen it. Real Madrid, Sergio Ramos, really undisputed record. You look at Barcelona, Carlos Puyol. You look at the likes of Cellini and Bonucci at Juve, and even the times of Arsenal winning these huge things, we've had huge. And look, I'm not really talking about huge centre backs, but I'm talking about someone strong. I'm talking about someone formidable, just like Virgil van Dijk has done it for Liverpool, just like the likes of Vidic, Ferdinand, Terry, used to do it for their club. So I think Arsenal need to think about a centre back and a high quality centre back. Personal Kimpembe, in my opinion, could actually do it. I think he's won the World Cup with France. He's played under not really under very, very big managers, but of course he's played under big managers at PSG, and also playing in that PSG backline with all that quality for some time. I think if Arsenal brought him in, he would come in with that mentality of a big club. He's a huge centre back as well. The leadership will be there. I think it would be a good signing. I also thought about Milan Skriniar from Inter Milan, but I think this one is a signing that Arsenal will not make this summer, but a signing that we'll have to make in the next 2 to 3 years. So personal Kimpembe, if he's available, I'll definitely do that. So I think Arsenal, along the way, just like Liverpool went and signed Virgil van Dijk, we will have to spend huge amounts of money on a centre back, and I won't be very surprised if we eventually do. Now, the other position is our right back position. Now, I think Tomiyasu is really doing a very great job in terms of providing a lot of security to that back line. I think is very, very strong. Is very, very formidable as a fullback. But I think if you look at what Manchester City have done, Kyle Walker and Joao Cancelo, and now they're adding Marc Cucurella. If you're playing modern football, then you're gonna need both of your fullbacks to be flying, whether you're playing in an elbow system defensively or not. I think you can play in a mini elbow system. Liverpool do it. Trent Alexander-Arnold pushing so much up front, and Robertson playing a little bit narrow. But again, if you look at the contribution of Robertson, it is massively huge. So, in my opinion, Arsenal need to find a player who can balance the boards, who can balance the energy that Alexander Zinchenko provides us with, and that could be Kyle Walker-Peters. Now, I'm not really talking about experience here, because Alexander Zinchenko playing for Arsenal at left back literally brings in that kind of experience, just like I've said. So you might not need a lot of experience on the right wing, on the right wing back position. You need brilliance, you need speed, and you need that. You just need that appetite to do more. And I think Kyle Walker-Peters would be a massive addition. But of course, Tomiyasu again, it would provide Arsenal with two options at right back. I think Tomiyasu competing with Cedric, it just kills off the vibe. It just really kills off the vibe in that right back position. We have Jed Spence, but I don't think Jed Spence is ready to take Arsenal to the next level. But if Arsenal can bring him in this season, probably be an understudy to Tomiyasu, he can get flying the next campaign. But Kyle Walker-Peters, a deal that I think Arsenal could actually do for little money, but one that can massively impact our next charge for the title. Now, in midfield, I think we need someone who is kind of like Milner, and I've gone with John McGinn. The reason as to why I've gone with John McGinn, it is not because John McGinn is a very, very talented player, but he's a very much of a utility player, very versatile player, and also when games get physical, when games need that kind of rough character, Joe McGinn is your guy. Now, we also understand that Thomas Partey is not always going to be there for us, so we need a player like Joe McGinn to always cover as a central midfielder. We've seen it at Aston Villa. He can do it very well, as Douglas Luiz has been playing in that single pivot. He's been playing a little bit advanced, and I think that is the key characteristic James Milner has. He can always play each and every position on that pitch, and that's why Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, they have always kept him. They want him there. Look, at times you could even ask and argue, why don't they let him go? He's getting older. It doesn't add so much to the team. He actually adds a lot to that Liverpool side. So Joe McGinn is a player that I look at and I feel this is another James Milner. Can play for me as a defensive midfielder, can play for me as a central midfielder, can play for me as a creative midfielder if I asked him to. He can play for me as a right winger, left winger as well, and I can play him in any fullback position, and he will actually do well. So Joe McGinn, every winning team has that kind of player. Can I remind you, players like Fletcher at Manchester United, they're always there. They have them. James Milner at Liverpool, those kind of players are always there, and they step up. They step up onto the stage when you need them, and they will perform. Now, Mohamed Elneny could have been that player, but I don't think Mohamed Elneny has the quality to give you such versatility. And I think also backing up Thomas Partey in that Arsenal defensive midfield is not even working well. I don't feel is bringing in enough quality to back up Thomas Partey. And I know Mikel Arteta will address the Thomas Partey issue, not this summer, but probably in the upcoming summer. We bring in someone who can be a very good understudy to Thomas Partey. Joe McGinn is someone to think about. So I think central midfield and defensive midfield is sorted out if Arsenal can bring in Yuri Tielemans and then Joe McGinn as well. I thought about the forward line, and I think we need a winger that is very, very quality and world class, honestly. And I thought about Christopher Nkunku. Now, the truth is that all these deals cannot be done in one summer. So I'm not saying Arsenal should sign Nkunku, McGinn, and Presnel Kimpembe in one summer. What I'm trying to suggest here is that as time goes on, you need to add this quality up your sleeve. And I think Christopher Nkunku would be a nice addition for Arsenal. One player that I think if you brought him in this Arsenal side, he would definitely get going. Now, the price tag this summer has been 100 million euros. We understood why RB Leipzig wanted to keep the player rather than sell him. And you understand there are times when you just don't want to sell. They're losing Konrad Laimer this summer, so I think they do not want to lose another player in the same summer, another key player in the same summer. You understand that. So Christopher Nkunku, sooner or later, Arsenal will need someone who can bring in that extra quality. I thought about Jared Bowen as well. Would be very, very wonderful signing. And with any of these ones, Arsenal can even try to sign one of them this summer. Bowen to be backup to compete with Bukayo Saka, not really a backup, but to compete with Bukayo Saka, and also the likes of Gabriel Martinelli on either wings and also on that forward line. Why I like Christopher Nkunku over Jared Bowen is I can play him as a right winger, I can play him as a left winger, and I can also play him down through the middle. And the most important thing is that if you look at what he's done last campaign, I think he's ready for that jump. He's ready for that move to join a club like Arsenal that is on the road to success and greatness. So I think we also need another quality winger. And lastly, we need a quality striker. Now, I know we've just signed Gabriel Jesus, and many Arsenal fans would feel a little bit insecure and maybe betrayed if we brought in another striker. But truth be told, Arsenal need another striker. Probably next campaign but one. You just need someone to compete with Gabriel Jesus. You just need fresh legs from the bench. You just need players to play in different competitions. You just need quality. The beauty with Manchester City and Liverpool is they've always equipped themselves with that extra quality. Mane, Salah, Jota, Firmino, Origi, Shaqiri, they've always had them. And if you think about Manchester City as well, they had Gabriel Jesus, they had Kun Aguero at some point in time, they had Riyad Mahrez as well, they had Bernardo Silva, there's so many players you cannot even mention, right? Phil Foden, the likes of Phil Foden as well have been there. Raheem Sterling. You just need to have quality. Do not mind whether all players are satisfied and getting the game time, the game time they would want. as long as you have that quality in the side, your players will absolutely have the game time and you will be winning big things. So if we can make more, if we can make 7 more big signings, in my opinion, Arsenal will be back to winning ways. 7 more signings. That is what I think. What do you think? Talk to me in the comment section.